So hello and welcome back to week 9, lecture 1. This week is all about wiring the electronics on our Lilybot that we assembled last week. So the first thing we're going to assemble today is the motor controller. The motor controller is what provides enough power so that our motors will move. So remember, the robot's brain is the Arduino Uno, and the motor controller is a TB6612 chip here that you can get at Adafruit. And these two wires are from the motors, which are attached to our wheels. So remember, the front of the robot is the word Lilybot. So this is the robot's right wheel and left wheel. So we're going to attach the motors to the motor controller. And this is week 9, lecture 1, and come back all week for the rest of the electronics. And stay STEMtastic.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to attach the ground. Remember, on a breadboard, each of the rows represents a node or a meeting point. So those five are touching all the way along the side. So if I come over here, the ground is 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So I'm going to attach the ground to this row right here. And because I want it to go all the way across the breadboard, I'm going to also put a jumper from here to here. I'm going to make this row my voltage. So I'm going to do the same thing over there, where I'm going to attach a jumper from one side to the other so that this row is my voltage. This is going to be ground, and this is going to be voltage. So the next thing I'm going to do is attach my motor wires. So this is the robot's right motor. And so over here at motor B, I'm going to put red, black. And then this is for the robot's left motor. And for motor A, I'm going to put red, black. There are multiple grounds on the Arduino, but there's only one voltage, so I have to be very intentional about how I use voltage. But there's another ground over here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to that ground and attach it right here in between the two motors. Okay, this needs to come over one. So the left side of the motor controller has left motor, right motor, and ground. Now on the other side, the first pin is VM. So I need to get a wire that goes from VN on the microcontroller, which is right next to the ground, and bring it over to VM, which is this first pin on the left side of the motor controller. And then the next one is going to be VCC, which is 5 volts. So I'm going to VN, ground, ground, 5 volts. So from 5 volts, it's then going to come over to the second pin on the microcontroller. Now, since that same connection has to also provide voltage to this rail down here, I use a gray wire to go from that same row down here to make my voltage rail or my voltage bus, just like that. Okay. Then I need to attach PWMB. PWMB needs to go to pin 5 on my microcontroller. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is PWMB. It's right next to a ground connection that I don't need to make because I made the ground connection over here. Then next is BIN2. BIN2 goes to pin 6. And then BIN1. And BIN1 goes to pin 7. I plan out my wires in advance, and I try to keep things connected next to each other, sequential, to make it easy to remember. That way I don't have to keep checking the wire diagram because I put them in order. Then on the microcontroller, there's a standby that we skip, and after we skip that row, the next pin goes to 8. And then that pin was AN1, then AN2 goes to 9. Okay. And then the final connection on the motor controller is PWMA, and PWMA goes to pin 10. Okay. And our motor controller is all wired up. Please come back for lecture 2 when we wire up our next electronic and stay